Hi Virgo, welcome to your general tarot tune, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. This is Tarot with Netta. This reading is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node in the sign of Virgo. Knight of Wands, grounding your energy at this time. So Virgo, as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If the reading doesn't resonate with you, check out your other placements. If it does, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. So I started recording your video before this one. It just didn't feel right, so I started over. Yeah, like I've been having some trouble like tuning into your energy, Virgo. I like to meditate on each sign before I do the recording, but yeah, like I've been having some trouble like tapping into your energy. The Knight of Wands, it might explain why. This is like a very wild and fun type of energy, Sagittarius, like a type of energy that just kind of like jumps from one experience to the next. You could be in summer mode, you know, you could have a lot of fire placements in your chart. Virgo, you are traditionally like in the astrological world, like stereotypically you're seen as very analytical, very clean cut, you know, being able to focus and organize, symbolized as like the maiden or the virgin. But I feel like Virgo, you do have this other aspect or side to your personality, that yin and yang, that I feel like it kind of wants to come out, but the energy that I was getting, that it was a little bit hard to tap into. If I could say like anything that was coming through, was that you're trying to figure out like who you are outside of your relationships, outside of your connections to work, your responsibilities, your hobbies. You're just trying to get to like the core essence of who you are as a person. So you could also have like Aries in your chart, you know, North Node in Aries if you're born in that 1986 time frame. But yeah, you could be trying to figure out like your identity. You might be going through an identity crisis. This could be like a midlife crisis, even somebody who just buys a convertible and starts dating people that are younger than them. Not to say that's what you're doing, but yeah, you know, and like as I was doing the fire sign readings yesterday, that was a lot of the like theme that the fire signs are going through. It's like identity formation, trying to separate oneself from the cage or the restrictions that past life or, you know, past choices have placed you in. And not to say that your life is bad, but yeah, you're almost coming to a fork in the road where you're realizing like you do have autonomy over your life, you know, and you feel like you haven't been playing the game of life that way up until this point. You've been making decisions influenced by some control or some power that has been exerted over you. You could be going through a spiritual awakening. There is like, you know, always collective awakenings happening, and it's always cyclical, and it's hard to maintain a state of an awakened bliss because of the constructs of, you know, our society and our world. But I think we're going in the right direction. But anyways, let's get into your reading, Virgo. So yeah, Knight of Wands, grounding your energy. I feel like you're just, you know, you're going into a playful mode. Sorry, my cat just completely destroyed something in the living room. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, my dear, yeah, that like, you know, you're going into like a little bit of a state of like, some might see it as like destructive, but you're not like trying to purposefully like destroy anything. You're just acting out because, yeah, you want to test the boundaries. Okay. So let's go into your challenge position, what's coming towards you, and your advice. In your challenge position, you have the Moon, the Three of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. So, you know, there's you're having some challenges with like deconstructing the illusions, you know, that you might have been living under. You might be waking up from like your life, you know, and it maybe feels like you're waking up from a dream. It could feel like pulling cobwebs out of your eyes or out of your face. Yeah, this can be like a kind of a scary time, you know, especially if you don't have like a good support system or a good community of other people, you know, talking about their similar experiences. Especially if you are like in a profession that has like a type A type of you know, need to perform, or you have a lot of responsibilities. It might be difficult for you to just kind of like step back and you know, like figure out like, okay, what's your next move? The Three of Pentacles to the Eight of Swords. Yeah, you're kind of like having difficulty, like, how do I move through these constrictions? How do I strategize? Like the prison break, you know, how do you break out of the matrix, essentially? And that's why you're going through this like rebellious phase. You could be acting like a teenager, you know, or maybe it doesn't have to be anything like too crazy. It could just be like staying up later at night, like you know, indulging a little bit more in like the finer things in life, indulging in yourself, even like on the verge of like being a little bit lazy, you know, like scrolling, like just kind of like indulging yourself in ways that like you're just trying to see how far you can test the waters or push the boundaries. So what's coming towards you? Page of Cups, Four of Wands, and Seven of Cups. Yeah, this is okay, so the Seven of Cups in the Thoth Tarot is known as debauchery, so just be mindful not to overdo it. I feel like, yeah, you're in summer mode, okay? Like you could be just like focusing on going to the beach, like having margaritas, listening to loud music in your car. But you know, be careful, don't overdo it. But you know, at the same time, like don't, as long as you're being careful and being safe, like yeah, you're just trying to like enjoy life. The Page of Cups here, you could be like, if you're single, just like getting back on the dating scene, like flirting, talking to people, like not really taking it seriously, like it's very lighthearted. The Four of Wands here, you are on the right path, okay? This is 11/11. You're in the right like environment, you're with the right people, but again, you know, just be mindful not to get like pulled too far into the deep end, because you know all actions have consequences. But I feel like essentially like it is more of a lighthearted energy where you're just trying to have fun. You're like, you know, I just want to be Cyndi Lauper, like girls just want to have fun. Yeah, again, you could be Virgo, sun, moon, rising, but you could like yeah, have a lot of fire in your chart, a lot of playfulness, and you've been like stereotyping yourself as that like, you know, traditional like definition of what a Virgo is, and you're like, okay, I need a break, I need to just do the other thing for a little while. Okay, so your advice, you do have the Hermit, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Your advice here, if you want the money, Virgo, you might have to go inwards, okay? So what's coming towards you is that fun, because that's what you're seeking. But don't forget about your long-term goals, your long-term plans. You might also have Saturn in your chart, like with Capricorn or Aquarius. So there, you know, the Pentacles are like that Capricorn energy, Saturnian energy, especially when we have like more daddy type figures like the Knight of Pentacles. This is very slow moving energy as well. Yeah, the geriatric horse. So your advice, it could be to like go inwards, go slowly, because if you do want the the long-term committed stable relationship, like you like routine. You might be being called, yeah, to go back into hermit mode. I feel like you're gonna have your fun, you're gonna have a taste of fun, and then you might quickly retreat. Like something might happen where you like touch something slimy and get the ick and like retreat back into your shell. This could be like a quick lesson of the Knight of Wands. I feel like you're just, yeah, like you're just testing the boundaries, testing the waters. And this debauchery, you know, you might like get pulled into like a seedy club or a seedy bar, or just like have a really bad like headache the next day, like from a night of going out, and just be like, oh, okay, I've like had my little fair share of fun. I've tasted it and I'm over it. You know, as quickly as you go out, you might pull back in, but there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like your long-term goals are to have like stability. You are an earth energy at the end of the day. Like you want to have your fun. I feel like you're trying to learn how to have fun where you don't like oscillate between extremes. And I feel like, yeah, this like pull to like have more teenager type of experiences or young adult experiences, like you're just gonna it might just be like a weekend thing, or like even one night, you know, okay, that was my one night out of the year that I remind myself like why I don't go out, kind of thing. So yeah, interesting energy for you, Virgo. What do you need to release? Waning moon. Yeah, I feel like you just need to like release some tension, have some fun, like have a margarita, like try not to stress, try not to worry too much. You know, and this could be the lesson for you, that there you might need more balance in your life overall, so you're not like, you know, finding yourself need to rebel so extremely in the future. You know, it's just a learning curve. One last card for you from the Romance Angels: past life relationship. You have known each other before. You might be dealing with someone that you encounter on this night out as you know, are going through this like Page of Cups, like flirting little experience. You might meet someone that gives you deja vu. Yeah, because you do have Four of Wands in the center of your spread. 1111. You could meet someone that's giving you like, okay, like I want to settle down, like I met my match. Everything happens for a reason. You know, you might just be going out to blow off some steam, and then lo and behold, you meet the love of your life. Okay, so my dear Virgo, I'm going to stop the reading there, but yeah, we'll put a pin in it, okay? Let me know if it resonated, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.